Namaste. Today I'm going to read Book 12, Chapter 8 on the appearance of the highest Shakti in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighna. Hari Om Tat Sat. Janamejaya spoke to Ved Vyasa, O Bhagavan, thou art the knower of all the dharmas, thou art the chief, the crown of the Pandits, knowing all the sastras. Now I ask thee, how is it that the twice-born has ceased to worship the highest Shakti, the Gayatri, and they now worship the other devatas on the face of the distinct command in the Shrutis that the worship of the Gayatri is nitya, that is daily, to be done at all times, especially during the 3 Sandhya times by all those that are twice born. In this world, some are the devotees of Vishnu, some the followers of Ganapati, some are Kapalikas, some follow the doctrines prevalent in China, some are the followers of Buddha or Charvaka. Some of them again wear the barks of trees and others roam naked. So various persons are seen having no trace of faith in the Vedas. O Brahmana, what is the real cause underlying secretly here in this? Kindly mention this to me. Again, they are seen many men well versed in various metaphysics and logic, our BAs and MAs, but then again they have no faith in the Vedas. How is this? Nobody wants anything omnious to him consciously. But how is it that these so-called learned men are fully aware and yet they are wonderfully void of any trace of faith in the Vedas? Kindly mention the cause underlying this, O thou, the foremost of the knowers of the Vedas. There is again another question. Thou hadst described before the glories of Manidvipa, the highest and the best place of the Devi. Now I want to hear, how is that Dvipa greater than the great? Satisfy this servant of thine by describing these. If the Guru be pleased, he reveals even the greatest and the highest esoteric secret of the disciple. Sutta spoke, hearing the words of the king Janamejaya. The Bhagavan Veda Vyasa began to answer the question in due order. The hearing of this increases the faith of the twice-born in the Vedas. Vyasa said, well, has this been asked by you, O king? In due time and in an appropriate moment, you are intelligent, and it seems that you have got the faith in the Vedas. I now answer, listen, in ancient times, the Asuras, maddened with pride, fought against the Devas for 100 years. The war was very extraordinary and remarkable. In this great war, various weapons were used, variegated with numerous mayas or ingenious devices. It tended to destroy the whole world, but by the mercy of the highest and the most exalted Shakti, the Dechas were overcome by the Devas in that great war. And they quitted the heavens and the earth and went to the nether regions, to Patala. The Devas were all delighted and began to dwell on their own prowess and became proud. They began to say, why shall not victory be ours? Why are not our glories great? We are by far the best. Where are the Dechas? They are devils, powerless. We are the causes of creation, preservation, and destruction. We all are glorious. Oh, what can be said before us in favor of the Asuras, the devils? Thus, not knowing the highest Shakti, the Devas were deluded. At this moment, seeing this plight of the Devas, the world mother took pity on the Devas, and to favor them, O king, she appeared before them in the form of the most worshipful, the great holy light. It was resplendent like 10 million suns, and cool as well like 10 million moons. It was brilliant and dazzling like 10 million lightning flashes, without hands and feet, and exceedingly beautiful. Never was this witnessed before, seeing this extraordinary, beautiful, lovely light. The Devas were taken aback. They spoke amongst themselves thus, "What is this? What is this? Is this the work of the Dechas, or some other great Maya, Mayak, playing by them? Or is it the work of another for creating the surprise of the Devas?" O king, then they all assembled together and decided to approach towards that adorable light and to ask it what it was. They then would determine in strength and decide what to do afterwards. Thus, coming to this ultimate conclusion, Indra called Agni and said, "O Agni, you are the mouthpiece of the Devas. Therefore, do you go first and ascertain distinctly what this light is." Hearing thus the words of Indra, Agni, elated by his own prowess, set out immediately from the place and went to that light. Seeing Agni coming, the light addressed him thus, "Who are you? What is your strength? State this before me." At this, Agni replied, "I am Agni. All the yajnas ordained in the Vedas are performed through me. The power of burning everything in this universe resides in me." Then that adorable light took up a straw of grass and said, "O Agni, if you can burn everything in this universe, then do you burn this trifling straw?" Agni tried his best to burn the straw, but he could not burn it. He got ashamed and fast went back to the Devas. Asked by the Devas, Agni told them everything and said, "O Devas, know verily that the pride cherished by us, that we are supreme, is entirely false." Indra then asked Vayu, wind, and said, "O Vayu, you are dwelling in this universe through and through. By your efforts, all are moving. Therefore, you are the prana of all. It is possible that all forces are concentrated within you. Go and ascertain what is this light. Verily, I do not see any other person here than you who can ascertain this great, adorable light." Hearing these commendable words of Indra, Vayu felt himself elated and went at once to that place. Where was that light? Seeing the Vayu, the light, the Yaksha, the demigod, the spirit asked in a gentle language, "Who are you? What strength is there in you? Speak out all these to me." At this, Vayu spoke arrogantly, "I am Matarisvan. I am Vayu. About my strength, I can move anything and I hold everything. It is through the strength of mine that this universe is and is alive and brisk with movements and works." That highest mass of light then replied, "O Vayu, move this straw that lies before you, and if you cannot quit your pride and go back to Indra ashamed, quit your pride and go back to India ashamed." At this, Vayu tried all his might, but alas, he could not move the straw a bit from that place. Vayu then gave up his pride and returned to the Devas and spoke to them all about the Yaksha, a sort of demigod, a ghost. "O Devas, our pride is vain. In no way can we be able to ascertain the nature of that light. It seems that that holy light, adorable by all, is extraordinary." Then all the Devas spoke with one voice to Indra, "When you are the king of the Devas, better go yourself and ascertain the reality of its nature." Indra then, with great pride, went himself to the light. The light too began to disappear gradually from the place and ultimately vanished from Indra's sight. When Indra found that he could not even speak to that light, he became greatly ashamed and began to conceive of his own nothingness. He thought thus, "I won't go back to the Devas. What shall I say to them? Never will I disclose to them my inferiority. One is better to die than do this. One's self-honor is the only treasure of the great and honorable. If honor is gone, what use then is there in living? O king, then Indra, the lord of Devas, quitted his pride and took refuge unto that great light which exhibited ere long such a glorious character. At this moment a celestial voice was heard from the heavens. O Indra, go on now and do japam, the reciting of the Maya Vija mantra, the basic mantra of Maya. All your troubles will then be over. Hearing this celestial voice, Indra began to repeat the Maya Vija, the seed mantra of Maya, with rapt concentration and without any food. Then on the 9th lunar day of the month of Chaitra, when the sun entered the meridian, suddenly there appeared in that place a great mass of light, as was seen before. Indra saw then within that mass of light a virgin form in full youth. Thus lustre from her body was like that of 10 million rising suns, and the color was rosy red like a full-blown java flower. On her forehead was shining the digit of the moon. Her breasts were full, and though veiled under the cloth, they looked very beautiful. She was holding noose and a goad in her 2 hands, and her other 2 hands indicated signs of favor and fearlessness. Her body was decked with various ornaments, and it looked auspicious and exceedingly lovely. Nowhere can be seen a woman beautiful like her. She was like a kalpa vriksha, celestial tree, yielding all desires. She was 3-eyed, and her braid of hair was encircled with malati garlands. She was praised on her 4 sides by the 4 Vedas, incarnate in their respective forms. The brilliancy of her teeth shed lustre on the ground as if ornamented with Padmaraga jewels. Her face looked smiling. Her clothing was red, and her body was covered with sandal paste. She was the cause of all the causes. Oh, she was all full of mercy. O King Janamejaya, thus Indra saw. Then the Uma Parvati Maheshwari Bhagavati and the hairs of his body stood on ends with ecstasy. His eyes were filled with tears of love and deep devotion, and he immediately fell prostrate before the feet of the Devi. Indra sang various hymns to her and praised her. He became very glad and asked her, O fair one, art thou that great mass of light? If this be, kindly state the cause of thy appearance. O king, hearing this, the Bhagavati replied, This my form is Brahma, the cause of all causes, the seat of Maya, the witness of all infallible and free from all defects and blemishes. What all the Vedas and Upanishads tried to establish, what ought to be obtained, and as declared by all the rules of austerity, and for which the Brahmanas practice Brahmacharyam, I am all that. I have told you about the Brahma, of the nature of the great holy light. The sages declare that Brahman is revealed by Om and Hrim, the 2 Vijas, mystic syllables, that are my 2 first and foremost mantras, wherein I remain hidden. I create this universe with my 2 parts, in my 2 aspects. Therefore, my Vija mantra is 2. Om Vija is denominated as Satchitananda, everlasting existence, intelligence and bliss, and Hrim Vija as Maya Prakriti, the undifferentiated consciousness, made manifest. Know then that Maya as the higher Shakti, and know me as that omnipotent goddess, at present revealed before your eyes. As moonlight is not different from the moon, so this Maya Shakti in the state of equilibrium is not different from me. The powerful man and the power he wields are not different. They are verily one and the same. During Pralaya, the great latency period, this Maya lies latent in me, without there being any difference. Again, at the time of creation, this Maya appears as the fructification of the karmas of the jivas. When this Maya is potential and exists latent in me, when Maya is antarmukhi, it is called unmanifested. And when the Maya becomes kinetic, when the Maya is bahirmukhi, when she is in an active kinetic state, it is said to be manifested. There is no origin or beginning of this Maya. Maya is of the nature of Brahma in a state of equilibrium. But during the beginning of the creation, her form consisting of the several gunas appears. When Maya is bahirmukhi, she becomes tamas in her unmanifested state. Windra, for this reason, her state of abstraction and becoming introspective. This is her antarmukhi state. It is known as Maya, and her looking outward is her bahirmukhi state. It is denominated by tamas and the other gunas. From this comes sattva, and then the rajas and Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesa are of the nature of the three gunas. Brahma has the Rajaguna in him, preponderating in Vishnu. The Sattva guna preponderates, and in Mahesa, the cause of all causes, is said to reside the Tamaguna. Brahma is known as the gross body, Vishnu is known as the subtle body, and Rudra is known as the causal body. And I am known as Turiya, transcending the gunas. This Turiya form of mine is called the state of equilibrium of the gunas. It is the inner controller of all. Beyond this, there's another state of mind which is called the formless Brahma. Brahman having no forms. Know verily that my forms are two, as they are with or without attributes, saguna or nirguna. That which is beyond Maya and the Maya qualities is called nirguna, without prakritic attributes, and that which is within Maya is called saguna. O Indra, after creating this universe, I enter within that as the inner controller of all, and it is I that impel all the jivas always to their due efforts and actions. Know verily that it is I that engage Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra, the causes of the several works of creation, preservation and destruction of this universe. They are performing their functions by my command. Through the terror from me, the winds blow. Through my terror, the sun moves in the sky. Through my terror, Indra, Agni and Yama do their respective duties. I am the best and superior to all. All fear me. Through my grace you have obtained victory in the battle. Know verily that it is I that make you all dance like inert wooden dolls as my mere instruments. You are merely my functions. I am the integral whole. I give sometimes victory to you and sometimes victory to the dechas. Yet I do everything as I will, keeping my independence duly and according to the karmas justly. Or you all have forgotten me through your pride and sheer nonsense. You have been carried deep into dire delusion by your vain egoism. And know now that to favor you, this my adorable light has issued suddenly. Henceforth banish ever from your heart all your vain boastings and idle prantings. Take refuge wholly unto me with all your head, heart and soul unto my Satchitananda form, and be safe. At times the devas forget and so fall into troubles. Vyasa said, thus saying, the Mula Prakriti, the great Devi, the goddess of the universe, vanished from their sight. The devas, on the other hand, began to praise her then and there with rapt devotion. Since that day, all the devas quitted their pride and engaged themselves in worshipping the Devi devotedly. They worshipped the Gayatri Devi daily during the 3 Sandhya times and performed various yajnas, and thus they worshipped Bhagavati daily. Thus, in the Satya Yoga, everybody engaged themselves in repeating the mantra Gayatri and worshipped the goddess indwelling in the Pranava and Harimkara. So, see now for yourself that the worship of Vishnu or Shiva or initiation in the Vishnu mantra or in the Shiva mantra are not mentioned anywhere in the Vedas as to be done always and forever. They are done for a while and not required anymore when the objects are fulfilled. Only the worship of Gayatri is always compulsory to be done at all times, as mentioned in the Vedas, O king. If a Brahmana does not worship the Gayatri, know then for certain that in every way he is sure to go down lower and lower. There is no doubt in this. A Brahmin is not to wait, no never to do any other thing. He will have all his desires fulfilled if he worships only the Devi Gayatri. Bhagavan Manu says that a Brahmin, whether he does any other thing or not, can be saved if he worships only the Divine Mother Gayatri. This worshipping the Gayatri is the highest, greatest, and most difficult of all the works in this universe. If any devotee of Shiva or Vishnu or of any other deity worships his desired deity without repeating the Gayatri, he is sure to suffer from the torments of hell. But this age of Kali deludes the people and draws away their minds from reciting the Gayatri, save a few of them. O king, for this reason, in the Sat Yuga, all the Brahmanas kept themselves fully engaged in worshipping the Gayatri and the lotus feet of the Devi Bhagavati. Here ends the 8th chapter in the 12th book on the appearance of the highest Shakti in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Ved Vyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalendra Kavishma. Om Tuya Mata Chapitatmaya Tuya Bandhu Shach Sakatva Vidyata Vidam Tuya So Shanti Shanti Shanti.